Good morning. Sometimes it becomes challenging when you spend the evening after scenes of losing our first responders. We typically say, in a traditional sense, good morning, but it's challenging to really feel as though it is a good morning. Being at the hospital last night where young Jesse was lying there after losing his life. The entire city mourns for the loss of this firefighter, a young man that dreamed to be a firefighter all his life. And it was really impactful to watch the family at the hospital. His parents, Bruce and Lynn, just embracing them and showing them the support and speaking with his colleagues, his brothers, who sort of lost their brother officer as they attempted to give him the same first aid and CPR that they give to a countless number of people every day. And one of the most impactful moments for me was seeing Casey, his brother. The relationship between two brothers is something that's a bond that is really just not explainable. I shared with his men and his fellow brothers officers the days of walking and being with my kid brother when he became a sergeant and a rookie cop, and how painful it is every time I heard that there was something dangerous that happened to him. But he was able to come home. Jesse's not coming home. And that's the reality that the family is facing. And so we're united together in our grief. We're united together to continue to lift up the men and women who are the first responders in the city. And we're united together to ensure his memory lives on. There's a brotherhood in the FDNY, similar to what's in NYPD and many of these agencies where first responders carry out their jobs, often running in harm's way instead of running against where the harm is located. And that is what this fine young man did. He lived out his dream of being a firefighter. And today he's no longer with us. I'm going to hand it over to Commissioner Kavanaugh.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I agree, it is very hard to say good morning on a morning that is far from it when we've seen a family experience the worst day of their lives and when we're really hurting as a department. But we're here to talk about firefighter Jesse Gerhard and his tragic loss of life in the line of duty. He was assigned to Ladder 134 in Far Rockaway, Queens, and that's where he was working last night at 11 p.m. when he experienced a sudden medical episode. He was transported to St. John's Episcopal Hospital, where despite the valiant efforts of both our members and the hospital staff, he was pronounced, and the cause is yet to be determined. As the mayor mentioned, Jesse was just 33 years old. He had 7 years on the FDNY as both a firefighter and an EMT, and he is survived by his parents and his brothers. I cannot express enough the extraordinary loss that this is to our department. He is exactly what we would want an FDNY member to be. As the mayor had mentioned, he had dreamed his whole life as becoming a member of the FDNY, and he had achieved that dream, responding every day to help New Yorkers in need. And that is exactly what he was doing on Tuesday when he responded to a second alarm fire in Queens, saving New Yorkers at the risk of his own life and his fellow firefighters' lives. Those same firefighters would be there with him in his darkest hour as they would try valiantly to revive him and bring him to the hospital, where the hospital staff would do their best. But tragically, he was not meant to be. Jesse is the 1,156th member of the FDNY to die in the line of duty, and our prayers are first and foremost with his family, his company and his brothers and sisters in the FDNY and the entire department at this time. Thank you. Questions?
Hold on.
Thank you. Commissioner, could you just speak a little bit about, I know that the fire was on Tuesday. Could you talk a little bit about the injuries that you sustained at that fire and how it might be related to last time, and then just more detail on what happened?
So we don't know of any injuries at this time. Obviously, a second alarm fire is a tough assignment with a lot of work, and so that will be part of the safety investigation.
Was he expressing any, did he say that he felt sick? I don't know if anyone in the firehouse said that.
Not that we know of at this time, but we are looking into that, yeah.
Where exactly was he, and what was he doing when he was responding when he had this medical episode?
So he was in the firehouse. The other members heard a noise like a collapse and responded to find him unconscious.
He was on the first floor or the second floor?
Do you know if it's on the first or second floor?
No, I don't.
Not sure.
Talk about what his position is in the fire company and also just the nature of that fire, what type of building, what was his position?
Sure. He was the irons man, and I'll let the chief of department describe what that is to you.
So Jesse, for that fire was part of the team that responded to the house, the first ladder company to arrive. He's the member of the team that forces entry if the doors are locked, and the members immediately begin searching for victims within the building. It was a very hot and smoky fire. There was a lot of fire on multiple floors of the building. And it's a very, strenuous position to be in, probably the most strenuous of all the different positions that we do work in. He worked, through the fire. He was relieved. And we really don't know what happened at this time, but we're investigating, all possibilities.
We know that we lost a fire officer at his post on duty not long ago, but that wasn't linked to a response. Can you talk about how this highlights the occupational risk and exposure? People think that it's just at the fire. And can you talk about why this, I guess you guys have this healthy lifestyle thing, and make those connections so that people who might want to think about being a firefighter would understand what's really involved in the commitment it is to your health?
So, yes, being a firefighter is a very physical, challenging job. We encourage, physical fitness for all of our members. The department has an required annual medical examination for each member of the department, and it's very thorough. They go over, all of your blood work, your lungs, your heart, just to make to see if you can be a full-duty firefighter. It's just a very, demanding job that actually, if you respond to more than one incident, the effects of smoke accumulate, in your body, and it's an accumulative effect sometimes, and that's why you may not feel it on your first response, but maybe it's the second or third where you would suffer any type of damage.
Heart attacks are the #1 cause of firefighter deaths nationwide, so I think that's important to note. It is a very strenuous job and dangerous in that way as well.
Yeah, just a little bit more about the firefighter. Does he come from a family of firefighters? And you said he was an EMT beforehand?
He was an EMT for 3 years before he became a firefighter. He does not come from a family of firefighters, but he was passionate about it at a very young age. He was a volunteer firefighter. As the mayor mentioned, when we spoke to the family, that was a theme over and over, that this was everything he wanted. There was no other job for him, is what he sought out to do. And from the moment he got it, it could not have loved anything more than doing that job. I don't. We can find out.